name is Matt Grobis. I'm a senior in the Integrative Biology Honors major at U of I, and I have applied for the Fulbright and Gates Cambridge scholarships. For the Gates Cambridge scholarship, I was at an Animal Behavior Society conference in Bloomington in July, and I talked to a researcher afterwards, and she recommended a professor at Cambridge to do research with, so I contacted him, and he recommended the Gates Cambridge scholarship, as did the girl at the conference I talked to. Essentially, the Gates Cambridge allows students to be able to attend Cambridge for a PhD, have access to incredible resources, and to go on and do something with their PhDs to try to make a difference in the world, specifically through leadership or outreach to communities, just essentially taking a step beyond just your research. And so with the Gates Cambridge Award, because I would have the monetary aspect of my studies completely covered, I would be able to really focus on my research, and then after having performed that research, think, okay, how can I take another step? How can I spread this knowledge to non-scientists, for example, to the general public through media such as YouTube or blogging, or by writing books? Or how can I spread this to farmers by meeting with them and giving them advice based on my findings on animal behavior? And so there's a lot of potential, but it's extremely hard to receive one of these scholarships, so we'll see how it turns out. So about halfway through my applications for the Fulbright and the Gates Cambridge scholarships, we had on-campus interviews, and the interviews really served to get me thinking about what kind of questions are going to be immediately springing from my application. And this was immensely helpful in the final stages, because once again, it's easy to say I have these grand ideas for how I want to do this project that's going to change the world, but it's an entirely different thing to understand the details and the practicality and exactly how you're going to do this. And so for the Gates interview especially, there were 6 faculty members who just grilled me on every specific detail about my application, and it was tough, but this is really the kind of rigor you need when you're applying for scholarships like these. Right now I'm actually preparing for the Cambridge interviews, which are going to be done over Skype with my potential advisor and then a colleague of his. I'm really excited for those. And then I hear back from Cambridge sometime early December, and then I hear from the Gates Committee in mid-December whether I was shortlisted for an interview. And if I am, then I will be flown out to California in early February for an official interview, and then I'll be flown back, and I'll hear back probably within a week whether I received funding or not. And unlike the Cambridge interviews, I'm really nervous about this, but if I do get shortlisted for an interview, then the National and International Scholarships Office will perform another mock interview with me to help prepare me for California. So I know I'm in good hands. I would advise any student considering applying for any of the scholarships that U of I offers to start very early. But it's rewarding, even if you don't receive the scholarship, to just have that sort of self-reflection and organizing all the components of your life leading up to this point, and also really helps with preparing for graduate school essays or resume writing, and so it's been very rewarding. And so start early and don't get stressed out, keep pushing. You'll do fine.